Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at how you can beat the Goku and Piccolo fight in the movie edition's Supreme Magnificent events with no items. So ultimately, the Piccolo and Goku fight is a one type fight. So again, looking predominantly at singular typings. Of course, on top of that as well, they can also fire multiple super attacks, which is a challenge in its own way. But yeah, that kind of surmises, I would say, the vast majority of what you have to deal with here. Generally speaking, much like a lot of the movie editions, Supreme Magnificent battles, your goal should be to complete the stage with no items by hitting very, very hard. So the stage comes out, hits very hard, you want to go in, hit very hard. It's kind of simple like that in a way. There's not too much else really for you to kind of move in off of. Piccolo and Goku, they do a 1.4 million super attack. They also nullify disable reduction of defense, grants immunity to being stunned, can't be sealed, but they can have their attack lowered. So a great unit for this is the Strength Coolers, the Cooler Final Form, the Cooler Transforming unit. All of these units are actually really, really good when it comes to this event because of the fact that they lower your attack and defense. And in this case, obviously with the attack being lowered, tends to help out a little bit, especially when you're dealing with multiple super attacks. Aside from that, nothing too crazy. Generally, our strategy here is just to out-damage the opponent, as it is for the vast majority of movie edition blue zones and things like that. Your goal is always to out-damage the opponent, and that doesn't change here in any way, shape, or form. So it is difficult in a way, but it is also obviously a really, really, really fun challenge to do. Now, single typing fights are fairly straightforward. So we went with predominantly strength heavy lineup. Final Form Cooler, we've got Cell Max, we've got the Turles unit, we've got Burly Chila Lemo, very, very good unit from a support capabilities. I've also used Bio Burly because why not? And then we also have, of course, on top of that, the really, really, really good AGL Golden Freezer, who starts out very strong in terms of his general damage reduction, defensive security, and stuff like that, which honestly actually really helps. I know it's one of those situations, but for me, where that really, really helps is just these kind of really quick, fast-paced fights. Freezer's only really going to appear once or twice, and that's a huge, 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 huge change-up for him, and allows him to really just kind of handle the event really, really well. Because Freezer's weakness, well, I say weakness, but there are certain events where, as his damage reduction falls, he tends to kind of taper off, especially with how difficult fights get, especially if there's type disadvantage in that. But here, now, the way he is, he tends to work pretty well overall, and because you're only asking him to really tank one turn, maybe two, he tends to do pretty well. We're going to use a friend Burly. I do have my own Burly, but I just don't want to use the Burly team for everything. So trying to refrain from just throwing in Burlies everywhere, because why not? Why not just change things up? So yeah, generally speaking, just trying to avoid that situation. But obviously, if you have your own Burlies, throw them in there. Burly's the best unit in the game, so that's pretty cool. And there's probably going to be the strength Burly's Super Easy A coming out soon. So if you got him, feel free to use him as well. So that's pretty cool as well. All in all, really, really straightforward stuff. Honestly speaking, a fun event, a fun little run, a cool team, a cool no item run. But not too much that I would say we're super concerned about here. Like I said, because of the way that single type fightings work, and because of the fact that we can attack lower, it tends to come out looking pretty good, just in general. So for me, I would have to say a very, very, very simple, very straightforward run. And I think ultimately, yeah, had a pretty good time with this one. Nothing too crazy that I had to be too concerned about. The multiple super attacks was something obviously that you have to deal with. Generally speaking, if you got enough high defense units like we do here, you tend to be fine, and then you're just reliant on like one or two of the damage dealers to really kind of get you through everything, which, as you can see, is literally what we did. We just had like the one or two big time damage dealers come through, do their thing, and that kind of wrapped everything up for us. So it was a pretty straightforward, pretty fun event. And yeah, we'll just move on to the next one. But cool to get the no item run done. Always a ton of fun. And yeah, we just have to see, how the others go. But I think overall, usually these earlier blue zone, red zone-esque type of fights, you can kind of get through. Usually due to gimmicks or just stage design. But yeah, that's basically going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.